To everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. That at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them.
Why did Rachel Zegler, a rising star with a Golden Globe in hand, become Hollywood's box office poison? From calling Snow White's prince a stalker to her baffling comments on fairy tales, her career trajectory is more shocking than a Disney plot twist. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video.
What was it like seeing yourself for the first time in full Snow White drag?
I love that description. It's perfect. Oh my God. Well, when you get to wear Sandy Powell, first of all, insane. And then you get to be lit by Mandy Walker. And
You're crying on that stage.
when am I not crying in public? It's so upsetting.
Why were you crying?
Oh my gosh. I saw well, we didn't even see.
overwhelming.
We didn't even see,
It's
but I saw the
overwhelming.
logo and I went, that's my name. Snow White's up there. And I cried my eyes out. And Nadia Stacy designed your hair and makeup. It's like the most incredible thing in the world. And then all of a sudden you open your eyes and you watch the playback, which I never do. And I saw myself on screen and I just wanted to throw up. I was so happy about it.
Rachel Zegler's journey in Hollywood started like a fairy tale. Fitting, right? She landed the role of Maria in West Side Story, directed by none other than Steven Spielberg. That's like making your movie debut in the big leagues. Critics raved, audiences fell in love, and she even snagged a Golden Globe for her performance.
And this couldn't happen to a better person, in my opinion. Rachel is literally the star of a Disney movie, and she acts like she's some sort of victim. And that's the sort of mentality that is just poisoning people's minds. Like, she acts like her life is so bad, considering she's a multi-millionaire actress. Well, the reaction has been absolutely horrible. It is the worst box office from a Disney live action remake that they've ever done. And Dumbo didn't do very well, but this is actually performing much lower than Dumbo. It's living out every struggling actress's or actor's dream, and she just kind of, hand waves it like she's still some sort of victim, when in reality, she should be a movie star. She should be happy. She should be, apolitical, positive, but she's not that way.
There were whispers that she was on her way to becoming the next Hollywood darling, with directors lining up to work with her. For a moment there, the world felt like her oyster. But oh, Hollywood loves a plot twist. When Disney handed her the role of Snow White, it felt like a slam dunk. A timeless princess, a multi-million-dollar remake, a guaranteed launchpad for even bigger projects. What could go wrong? Well, apparently, everything. It turns out, Rachel didn't just want to play Snow White. She wanted to modernize her. And by modernize, I mean completely torch the character for some fans.
Oh, goodness me. She didn't have a post saying, if you're going to vote for Trump, just unfollow me. And I think a lot of people have just taken that advice and are not supportive of her projects. And in fact, if the film is as bad as they say.
She loves Kamala Harris. She was, as woke as they are. And, the saying, go woke, get broke, and Disney's going to lose money on this movie. And I believe it only made less than $1 million in China, which is a huge indication that it will not do well globally.
You're not going to go along and watch it anyway. Now, another project that isn't doing too well is Michelle Obama's podcast. The figures haven't been great, and she's out there promoting it. You've got to give her credit for that. She's out there doing interviews. And
Whether it was calling the prince a stalker or claiming Snow White wasn't even about her skin color. Cue the collective head tilt. Every interview seemed to upset someone. It's almost as if she skipped the training in how not to tick off Disney's biggest audience, families and nostalgia lovers. But it wasn't just what she said, it was how she said it. In one viral clip, she flippantly described the story as not 1937 anymore, casually brushing off the legacy of the original. Fans didn't just feel hurt, they felt insulted. Her attempt to frame the remake as some kind of empowerment anthem fell flat. Instead, it looked like she was using the wrong aisle in the self-improvement section to rewrite a centuries-old story. The film itself didn't help. Beset by controversies, including Disney's bizarre decision to sideline the Seven Dwarfs, everything spiraled. When the dust settled, the movie was a spectacular flop, shedding millions. The irony here? Snow White is supposed to be a story about believing in magic, but this version only made people lose faith. If her Snow White comments caused a storm, Rachel Zegler's behavior off-screen turned it into a full-blown hurricane. Hollywood rule number 1? Treat your fans kindly. They're basically your bread and butter. But Zegler didn't seem to get the memo. At one point, she openly admitted to pretending to like people who asked for photos. Imagine your favorite star saying that about you. Not exactly warm and fuzzy. Things only got worse when, according to her own story, a fan sang a West Side Story tune to her, and she told them they'd ruined her night. Here's a golden Hollywood tip. Don't sing along if you see her at a Chili's. Her social media antics weren't helping her case either. Now everyone's entitled to their political views, but Zegler went full throttle, airing her disdain for Trump and his supporters on Twitter. While she likely earned some virtual high fives, she also alienated a sizable chunk of the audience. And that's especially tricky when your bread and butter audience includes, let's face it, a lot of parents and grandparents who probably aren't waving any Rachel Zegler banners now. Disney must have been watching that unfold on their screens with popcorn, and not in a good way. And then there was Evita. Oh, Rachel's run in the theater world was memorable, but not for the reasons you'd hope. Imagine paying for a live theater performance only to find out that the lead actress was on a screen outside and not even on stage. Critics shredded her performative portrayal, and ticket sales imploded. Some nights, they had to straight up give tickets away. People outside sitting on benches were getting a show for free, while paying customers were left feeling like they'd funded an experiment nobody asked for. Awkward. All of this, the social media firestorms, the awkward public encounters, the theater debacle, created what can only be described as a PR nightmare. Critics got louder, and whispers about her being radioactive in casting rooms started to swirl. In Hollywood, bad buzz spreads faster than a showbiz rumor, and Zegler was caught in the middle of it all. Rachel Zegler's downfall feels like an Icarus story for modern Hollywood. She soared to fame swiftly, with a Golden Globe shining bright in her hand, but her words and actions lit the wax on her wings. Calling the Snow White prince a stalker or dismissing the original fairy tale didn't come off as edgy, it came off as disrespectful. Add in her awkward off-screen moments with fans, and the backlash became inevitable. Hollywood isn't kind to arrogance, and audiences even less so. The lesson? Fame isn't bulletproof. Now the question is, can Rachel Zegler rewrite her story, or is this the final chapter?